we're back already, dear spectators, for a game 2 of tonight of this best of 5 series between Red Lions and Union des Ombres, with Red Lions having taken a very strong win right off the bat with the game we just saw. They showed why they are a Division 1 team already, and it didn't fare too well for Union des Ombres on the counter hand.
Yeah, definitely seeing some struggle here from Union des Ombres to adapt to some picks that have not been seen in Division 2. Maybe also very little time to scout out the teams because it wasn't even sure if they were going to be here today. And now it's the game of adapting, seeing how they can counter either the strengths of Red Lions or play to their own strengths better. And that Nidalee pick is something that they is probably on all of their minds, because I think there was no one that hasn't been killed in that game by her spear at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe they went into the game thinking that, they should be playing around Ziki usually. We can play around our AD carry as well, he's pretty good. And we'll all be happy. It will come down to whose AD carry we can protect the best and then bring forward the best. But in the end, Red Lions came in with that Nidalee. Thunder Yodel decided to kind of take things into his own hands, proving to be quite a threat in the end. So we'll have to see, I think, especially how they adapt to that pick. Maybe banning out the Nidalee would be an idea, or maybe picking something that doesn't allow a Nidalee to just run rampant, as Thunder Yodel did just now. Could also be an option. In any case, Union des Ombres, having the side selection, decided to go for blue side, meaning that they'll be taking the first pick, and with that can maybe have a bit more agency on what they get in the champ select.
No, I'm looking forward to what they're going to go for here. We also had in Division 2, they did play stuff like Jin and Twisted Fate ADC, which are maybe not as conventional for tournaments. Maybe they have something up their sleeve here, and we're already going into the next champ select here.
Yes, there we are in the next champ select. The first few buns already looking quite similar, but yeah, here we have the Nidalee bun. They just decide that they don't want to see Nidalee at all. Better be safe than sorry.
Which is fair considering the performance here, respecting that pick, and maybe just saying we don't have enough time to analyze her pathing and to come up with a good counter to her, so we just ban her out and try to go from there.
Yeah, I'll bring the Lilian now, which they did ban as for the previous game as well, which is also quite the stable pick of Thunder Yodel, deciding that they'd rather put the attention on him rather than Ziki in the end.
Going for the Rel again, not changing their team composition too much. Of course, you could also go for the support, into the support role, but showing again that they are maybe drafting something similar to before, and also the same bans on Red Lion's side.
And I understand the picking early of the Rel here as a flex pick. Can be played in the jungle, could be also played as a support, as you've said. I don't think it was necessarily first pick worthy here, because I don't think Red Lions has much interest in that Rel. I don't remember seeing a Rel being picked by either of their players, especially with Ito being well known for playing more of those enchanted champions. We saw just a few times on those tank engaged champions, and with Thunder Yodel also not picking up a Rel, as I can remember over the course of the split. They're gonna follow up with that Jin here.
Going for more early aggression now that they see the Janna. Also quite a lot of range, which Janna might struggle against because she wants to disengage, which is good against the Rel, of course. but then a Jin can just stay at max range and easily dodge the tornadoes with his movement speed. And also the Talia here probably, I'm not quite sure if Red Lions does it as a flex pick or if it's a staple of one of the players.
I know that Talia was picked sometime in first division. That was one of the live streams I was not present in. I remember quite when. Could be mid lane, could be jungle, either way. So it is definitely good throw Union des Ombres off guard, and in the end it's going to be the Vayne for Ziki.
And Vayne has been such a dominating pick in solo queue in top lane, as well as on ADC, especially with an enchanter support such as Janna and Jin, who is also known to struggle against something like a Vayne, because once she's on top of you there's just not much that he can do against her in her invisibility. You can have your 4th shot up, but if you cannot see your enemy, it will not do much damage.
That is quite true. And it is a champion that does fit Ziki's overall user playstyle quite well. I mean, he plays those hyper carry champions quite a lot, so should be quite fine on it. We've had the second ban rotation coming in. We have the Colette ban, which was banned in the first for the previous game, and the Jax ban against Bowser. As then on the side of Red Lions, they banned the Silas and they banned the Syndra, which we saw before was quite strong as well. Unfortunately wasn't able to turn the tides for their team.
Yeah, and also here Silas banned to get the Malphite. You don't want to give that free ultimate to the other side, especially because Emilio is also has played 2 games of Silas, I believe, where he also played quite well. And now we see actually a change here, not going for the tank top lane, but the Aatrox being hovered, which is one of the main champions next to Camille of Matsuhiro on the top lane.
Going for the comfort pick. He did have a bit of a rough time against Bowser in the previous game. So taking a champion he's quite comfortable on could turn the tides, especially if it's something a bit more aggressive. We have the Xerath coming in for Union des Ombres mid lane. And last but not least, we should be seeing maybe a jungler or maybe a mid laner for Red Lions, because I believe that Malphite's going to go top lane here.
No, I don't think the Malphite wants to face a Xerath
me neither.
on mid lane. But there is the Olaf lock-in, so it is probably going to be the Malphite. Although it could still be an Olaf jungle. That would also be an option. I haven't seen too much Malphite jungle because I don't know how his clear is, but maybe they have an idea there.
We'll have to see how that fares later on. Of course, now we did go with the LOL draft. So we have the right picking order. But now, and I'm just saying this because I like to nag on stuff. Now we don't have their final order in the end. Who's gonna pick what position? And actually, the possibility of having that was presented, but I was like, no, I don't want that because I'm a grumpy old man apparently. And so now we're stuck with that. But it's okay. We can theorize on what pick is gonna go where. I think we can both agree on the Talia being mid lane here. I would hardly see Olaf or Malphite on the mid lane against that Xerath, to be fair.
And unless the mid laner is very confident to dodge all of the skill shots, but with the spam ability that champions have nowadays, I think that will still be a rough lane. And Milio has also proven with the Syndra play that he was keeping up with the Ori quite well. Of course, it was not enough in the end, and they took over the game in every lane afterwards. But
yeah,
yes,
I think the like I could imagine Olaf versus Xerath, but I don't think it's what you would pick as a counter pick specifically for Xerath now. It's just what I think. I think overall the Olaf was probably picked because there's a bunch of CC on the sides of Union des Ombres here. So his ultimate is definitely going to come in handy. But I don't see him mid lane here. Definitely put that clear there. Then, yeah, I would guess the Olaf in the jungle probably should fare quite well against the Rel even. Should be able to bully that Rel actually quite a bit, in my humble opinion.
I also believe it's going to be an Olaf jungle, but as I said, the last Rift Riders game, we thought it was Darius top lane and something more conventional in the jungle, and they last minute decided to switch it up and put the Darius in the jungle instead. So who knows? Sometimes teams have their strategies and their ideas of how to play a certain matchup that maybe we don't have insight on as of yet. And they will show us how to play it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everything is possible technically. We'll have to see in the end what is gonna be what. And on the other side, because we've talked a bit about what could happen there and there, des Ombres. I've mentioned the mid lane quite a bit. On the bot lane, we have Jhin with Thresh going up against Janna and Vayne. You mentioned how Jhin can be relatively safe against that Janna. In the meantime, we've had the Thresh that's added and the Vayne as well. What do you think? How does that fare for those two matchups? For that matchup?
Personally, as a bot lane main, I would say, bot lane and support, I don't like the Thresh pick after seeing Janna, because Janna is good at disengaging, and Thresh can struggle quite a lot against it. Plus, it's maybe also not an answer against that Vayne, because Vayne has a lot of mobility, can tumble away from this very slow hook that's incoming. So maybe I would have preferred to see something more poke heavy, to just make Vayne's early game living hell with that Jhin range added to it, and then in the mid game just not let her play, basically. Like, that would have been my win condition for that bot lane. But Thresh is also a main of the support player here, so maybe has some tricks how to play against the Janna, because it doesn't matter how often you play Thresh, you always find some kind of new interactions and mechanics where you can just outplay your opponent or out-mind game the Vayne into tumbling too early and then still catching her off guard. So a bit of a skill matchup maybe here in the early. They could bully out the Vayne if they played well, but with the Janna on her side, I believe that the Thresh was maybe not my preferred pick.
I think overall the Vayne pick was very, very good on the sides of Red Lions, because you mentioned it. Vayne that has some reaction speed will be able to dodge out that hook, but it's not only the hook. Like, overall, the CC they have, especially in that first rotation, is quite slow coming. The hook takes time to come in, it's very predictable. The Jhin W also, you see it coming, it's an easy tumble away. And Rel is also not the fastest engage/CC champion there is, right? Like, the jump in is so slow, and I think Vayne could easily just get out of the way, tumble out, condemned against the wall or anything. I think the Vayne pick here was really, really good.
I think the only issue maybe for Vayne is going to be a good flank from an Aatrox that might get a bit ahead if he's going to lane against the Malphite. Aatrox likes to go against tanks and has a lot of lane presence. So if that Aatrox manages to get ahead, that might be the only struggle for Vayne, because she can easily run down a Jhin or a Xerath, because once she's on top of you, it will be very hard to do something against her. Also with the backup she has, of course, the Olaf, also big fan here from that pick on Red Lion's side, because you have Jhin and Xerath that you will want to run down, and it's really champions that struggle once someone is on top of them. They will have a hard time.
Yeah, and with a Malphite as well, it's like Red Lion's got quite the oomph on their side in order to get onto someone. Two champions who are just so relentless into trying to catch up to you, and then you have the Talia and Malphite who can just come in quite explosively with their ultimates in the end. So really,
and
like,
also cut off their escape ways potentially.
True, because Jhin and Xerath aren't mobile. Like they're not. If there is a wall, they have a problem, right?
Maybe that's why the Thresh pick came in here. The Lantern, often overseen in his kit, which is probably still and will always be the most broken ability that he has to offer in competitive team play. So maybe that was the thought behind the Thresh, not so much to dominate that lane, but to get the Jhin or the Xerath into safety should they ever get caught off guard by a Talia ultimate. We will see how exactly. That's why I say Thresh is a very creative playmaker and has a lot of options on what or how he will play.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see how he plays. It's definitely, there's going to be quite a bit of pressure on him, I think, to keep his teammates safe. Overall, I think they do have this benefit of having so much range. Like with the Xerath, you have so much range. With the Jhin, you can also stay in a bit. Either way, we'll have to see how it pans out as we're headed towards the second game of tonight of this best of 5 series between Union des Ombres and Red Lions. Let's go to the Summoner's Rift. And there we are already in the Summoner's Rift for game 2 of tonight.
And it is the Malphite mid lane. Our speculations were incorrect.
It is a Malphite middle lane indeed.
With also the poke runestone. Arcane Comet, that's what it's called, I think. So quite excited to see how Amaterasu decides to play this matchup.
Yeah, indeed, because well, I think once he gets onto that, Xerath should be okay. Careful here, Tundra rookie has to flash away. Kurtman is gonna flash behind him. Matsuhiro as well. That's the first blood for Milio. Hook now onto Amaterasu. Nothing much comes out of it, luckily for him.
No, not quite. A lot of flashes also traded for that kill. Aatrox and Trell now flashless, which might be capitalized upon, because Aatrox is not versus the Malphite that he might bully out of lane, but versus Olaf, which is probably more of a skill matchup now.
Replay, that's not a face check you want to have to take. Flashes out as well. Now, a lot of damage falling onto Jean-Phil as Ziki plays this quite aggressively. Looking to get that level 2, I believe. There you go, he goes in with that level 2. Onto Jean-Phil, nade is out, he does not die from the stacks. Fire flashes onto the turret, the hook goes Ori, but with that, Union des Ombres bot lane is already super low.
And Ziki with very good spacing here with his Qs poking the Jin without getting poked back, as well as Janna dodging an early hook that looked like it might almost land, as well as Ziki then dodging the hook from... Oh, but now something happened
What?
on the bot lane that
Yeah.
we didn't see.
I guess the hook did hit here. I pick up the kill onto it. Ziki tries to go for the kill for Jean-Phil, but is not going to be able to take that auto attack out. Fire with a nice play is going to put him back in. Dodges the hook here, and Thunder Rookie comes in time to save his AD carry and secure the kill on the enemy support. Cutman just around the corner here in the tri-bush is going to come in with the Hack Slash, get on to Tundra Rookie, gets the stun out on Ziki and picks up the kill with that. Tundra Rookie now getting really low. This one to try to make an escape with Eto coming back in lane, maybe just in time. The sun comes through. No, it's a double kill for the Real player of Union des Ombres. And with that, they start off strong in this game.
Strong and a really explosive early game compared to last game. Going for these early ganks and trade-offs, which has benefited Union des Ombres greatly, and also here the Malphite not having a fun time. Good timing by his shield there. Blocking off the third stack from Wayne and barely escaping. That was a very, very close call. But that's been the last trades have all been very close.
Yeah. In any case, well now, quite the action-packed early game that we have here. And that's quite in Union des Ombres' favor. We'll have to see if Cutman is able to bring his now early lead towards his teammates and bring them ahead. Because if Federal isn't that much, Bowser drops the Ghost on the top lane as the exchange is starting to do it really good for him, and he picks up a kill on Matsuhiro. Yep.
Securing the kill with the auto attack, flash auto attack.
That's what you like to see, right? It looked so unimpressive.
Yeah, but you can't miss the auto attack. If he had one of his skill shots up, he could have missed it, and then that advantage he could have gotten would be gone.
That's true.
But that Olaf is already looking really scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we have Thunder Ricky taking the Void Drops here, gets all three, and Cutman did come around. But with Bowser's pressure on the top lane, couldn't have done much, I believe. Maybe coming into the bot lane. But, ooh, careful here. Red Lion being already quite safe. Will not die from that.
That's really the struggle getting onto Ziki, who really shows very good reaction time to dodge the hooks. Trash tried to predict his Q, but he just held onto it until he saw the skill shot go out and just didn't use it.
Say, Cutman coming into the mid lane. As his mid lane is coming back, they can't get the kill on Amaterasu. Engage found here. Thunder Ricky now joins up. Might be getting a situation. They decide to go in. Have to be careful. Amaterasu is level 6. Unstoppable Force is up. He's such a not go for counter engage. Maybe being quite good in this game already. 2-0. But comfortable.
Yeah, that's of course not something the Malphite will be happy with. 2-0 on Zeref.
Yeah, we have the flash tower dive coming in from Cutman with the arcane rides onto Ziki, hitting twice. That's the first kill going to Jean-Phil. Cutman, however, being caught here by the wall. The shot money going to counter Rookie, but very nice here coming in from Fire to get the CC out on Tundra Rookie with Melio's damage from across the wall. They pick up another kill here. With that, the Union des Ombres keeps the pace going.
Yes, there is definitely also showing much more proactive plays right now. having an AD carry that is also quite strong in that early game compared to a Vayne.
He definitely taking quite the advantage of that. Amaterasu almost dying here, but not entirely. Also keeps the pressure on top lane. That's very important because you would think Udu now they have a huge lead, and while it's not negligible, it's only 800 gold. Here we see the gang attempt again. We can already see that Thunder Rookie is coming back in. Very nice lantern that saves Jean-Phil here from across the world. So here we have exactly the situation that you've described in the champs. Like in the meantime, on the middle lane, shutdown goes to Thunder Rookie, who comes in for a gank against Melio. Yes, I was saying, you'd expect you to have a huge lead here in terms of gold, and especially now with that shutdown coming into for Thunder Rookie. The gold lead is now negligible. It's 200 gold. Ziggy goes for the engage here. We keep the action going. Jean-Phil picks up another kill here on the enemy AD carry. But I was going to say, Red Lions has quite a few CS leads on top lane and on the jungle position. And on the rest, it's more or less even. Melio and Jean-Phil having a bit of a lead on those two lanes. Nothing as dramatic as the jungle lead for Thunder Rookie. Now we have Amaterasu being caught here, but it's a malfight. He doesn't quite care to be hit by some AD champs here.
And yeah.
Yeah, the top lane gank here against Batsu, who's almost dead either way, but careful here, Thunder Rookie with the turret hit. Did you not get the kill? But Batsu is way too low to risk anything here. Should be careful, even with the turret.
Back to me right now.
Oh. Suppable force on the mid lane, not enough to kill Melio. The
Not
teams...
yet, not yet.
Not yet, yeah. The teams keep going for the actions. Here we have the flash out from Ziki. Very nice dodge on the hook coming in from Mito, and with that she tries to get to safety. Flashes in, insects Cutman into the turret with the monsoon. Now that's crazy. Two people knocked up by the Nado, but Ziki has to be careful. He is going to die thanks to that hook coming in from fire. With that, his AD carry is still alive, but wow!
You don't get a lot of moments to rest here. There's action right now on every lane, which is kind of to be expected with the matchups that we have going on, but also Cutman focusing that bot lane quite a lot, trying to shut down the Vayne. And very impressive play, like each gank Ziki dodges so many skill shots that makes there's Ombres' plan just delayed a bit much, that maybe they can get, or they did get, some kills in return from the ganks, which is not necessarily ideal.
Monsoon insect here from Meto on Ajana, and a wonderful tornado. But here we have the one hook he should have dodged and everything would have changed.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And I believe his Q was on cooldown there, because I think he used the dash just before.
Keep the aggression going. The hook lands. You have to be careful here if your Ziki is getting exhaust, and with that, not many chances of taking 90-80 carry before he does him. Thunder Rookie just around the corner, comes in not in time. I believe here we have the ulti being used, but he's getting grabbed, it seems, and Fire is able to save his AD carry and give him another kill. And Ito now forced to back away. We have the curtain call coming in. Is not able to dodge that hook, and we have the flash from Jean-Phil, who picks up 3 kills in this situation here.
And 5-0 now on that Jhin, which is exactly what the Jhin wants against the Vayne.
Wouldn't he want to be 4-0 though?
Yeah, probably.
No, it's a neater number.
Yes, that's true. Jhin would probably prefer to be 4-0. Gets executed there by the tower to still secure that plate, I believe, and take the fast way back into the base.
Yep. Don't have any qualms with that. As now this is able to secure themselves a neat lead of 2k gold lead. And now, it's on the right person. It's on your AD carry. It's the one you want this to have on. And if they set the pace correctly from here on out, it could be smooth sailing for them in the second game.
Cutman heading again to that bot lane. Not letting them breathe for a second.
Yeah, no. No chance of breathing for Red Lions on the bot lane. They suss out something's odd here.
Yeah, Thresh is playing way too aggressive there. But Drake is also coming up, so having a lot of vision secured now on that bot side.
Yeah, and they go for it. Zeki has the ultimate drop. He's on a turret. He's getting hooked here once again. And the CC change is just insane on this AD carry. Thunder Rookie comes once again just a tad bit too late to save his life. As Amaterasu now comes in. Has to be careful. Join back up with the team. They go on to Cutman, who's starting to get a bit of damage inside. Curtain Call coming out. They should be getting the kill on the enemy jungler at least here. But another hook from Fire gets Amaterasu back into the middle of them. Thunder Rookie is able to pick up a second kill. Melio takes down Nato. And now it's a 2v1 as Melio just thunders the others away. And Junior Desom comes back out on top here.
It is these dives are starting to really give me chills. Really well executed, but then Red Lions always also trying to respond here and just shortly making it out with a bit of a advantage for Union des Ombres here. Once again, because the Jenna and the Vayne managed to delay the engages by a bit to make time for the Talia to come and help them, but now Union des Ombres definitely have the games in their hands. A bit of a gold lead now.
Yeah, they're going strong right now, huh? 3k gold. And you have that gold, you have it on your two carries. You have it on the AP carry, you have it on the AD carry. That's the two people you want to have a gold lead on. Cutman coming in mid lane now with the Hex Flash as Amaterasu is forced to walk away. He doesn't walk towards none other than Ito, who is currently helping out Thunder Rookie at Rift House, who is now picked up by Red Lions. They're still going strong on those objectives. You have to hook on to Amaterasu, and with that the fight unfolds. Unstoppable Force goes to the targets, but the rest of Red Lions is unable to join in as now Amaterasu comes out from the top lane. It gets the knock-up out on NATO. We have Bowser trying to do God's work here with the Ragnarok, but is forced to fall back, dodges these skill shots like a madman here. Thunder Rookie picks up the return kill on Cutman, but has to be careful. Another kill for the Talia player, who in the end gets pulled in by the enemy support, and that's another kill for Jean-Phil. But Red Lions playing this quite well. It's only a 2-2. They have to be careful. Ludio keeping the pressure here on the mid lane turret. TP is not going to come through here. Amaterasu in the middle of them gets hooked and CC to death here. That's quite unfortunate for the Malphite player. Ziki now there in the back line has to be careful because he does not fare well 1v3 here.
What an explosive fight right there. So much things going on, so many people landing skill shots, but then also Thresh predicting some of the dodges and then hitting crucial hooks on Tundra Rookie, for example, and making the Jhin so dangerous with those 4-shot crits.
Things are unfolding at the Drake here as Red Lions decided to go for it early. Luckily for them, Jean-Phil is not quite in the fight as well. They're able to pick up 2 kills, do not get the Drake. However, now we have the Arcane Rite dealing quite a lot of damage on Bowser. That's a 3 kills falling in favor of Red Lions as they get the CC out now on Melio, the second carry of Union des Ombres. They are starting to turn things around, forcing the Jhin player of Union des Ombres to fall back as he is in a 1v3 situation. And they should be able to hit flashes over the wall. Very good flash coming in here. Ziki goes right behind him, tries to finish him off, and it's not enough. No, it is! No, it is! Ziki picks up the shutdown money here.
Wow, what is going on? it's fight after fight, and you can just not predict anymore what is going to happen because
it's surprises after surprises indeed. Here we can see what a mess just transpired at this Drake. You saw that Jean-Phil just was not in range to help out here. We have Dragonor being dropped quite early on. And just Red Lions altogether are able to accept Union des Ombres and just get through their front line quite easily here. Now the AD carry is there, but it's already too late. They're able to get the CC out on the carries, and it's just a lost cause at that point. And really good reaction from Bowser to decide, I'm not going to chase with you guys, I'm going to push that mid lane. Because with that, we're going to see in a bunch of seconds how it looks on that level, yeah. Look how long he still survived. Oh boy.
Yeah, but of course there the 1,000 golds going into Vayne's pocket, and she proving that once there is no Aatrox or or Thresh to keep Vayne away, it's very hard for Jhin or Xerath to counteract her. She can just run at you and auto-attack you down.
Coming in for Tundra. Rookie, unfortunately, the rest of his team on the wrong side. Ziggy's still able to take the auto attacks out thanks to his ultimate range increase. With that, they take fire out of the equation. Herald being dropped on the top lane as they prepare to take the tier 1 here. Tier 1 was taken mid lane by Bowser after the previous team fight. Cutman now has to be careful. Is in the range, is gonna probably die here. Oh no, goes in onto Ziki, went a bit far in front. Amaterasu Unstoppable Force on the enemy AD carry. We have the Arcane Rise, the shutdown from Tundra Rookie goes to Melio. He has to be careful now. There's 3 people quite close to him. He's gonna go to safety.
That Union des Ombres decides to not just back off there and still take that fight. Tundra Rookie, like, just doing also so much damage on Thresh, is 10 and 7, which maybe they are underestimating a bit that Red Lions is not as behind as they think. Actually, they are slightly ahead even now on gold. They were behind before, but that Drake fight turned the tables once again, and I think maybe Jean-Phil there had a bit of overestimating how much he could do in that situation there, because they did not back off, and I think they did have the time to just leave that tier 1 top turret, back off to the second one, and then defend from there.
And I was just looking at the items that here we have even the gold, and we can see so Jean-Phil is still quite a ways ahead from Ziki, who had a super rough start. The Tundra Rookie, 11k gold. He's not only 10-7, which 10 kills is already so much money, but he is at 169 CS, so he is essentially even slightly ahead from Jean-Phil. And I think, as you said, they might not have noticed. We see the gold difference of both teams. They don't. They have to estimate it. And currently, you know, the zone, what do they see? We have 5 kills over them. CS is more or less equal across the board. We're good. But there is the shutdown money that came in for Red Lions quite strongly just in those fights. And it was a lot of shutdown money.
They definitely have to be careful.
Yeah, Ziki has to, however, as well. This is Cutman finds the CC, and once you're CC'd here, that's the advantage of Videos come, is you're CC'd forever. The wall is going to put out Melio from this fight here, as it turns out to be a 3v2. Matsuhiro starts to get low, but so does Amaterasu, goes back in. Has to dodge the skill shots here to survive. Where did those minions go? Around the wall. In the end, Todoroki picks up the shutdown money from Melio. And this situation turns into a 3-1 in favor of Red Lions.
And it looked like, in a moment, it looked like Union des Ombres might have that fight, but the damage from the Thalia is just too high that even the tanks, the tankier members of Union des Ombres have no chance. And also I think some nice dodges there from Tundra Rookie as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that wall was really huge because Melio has some range, but from there on out he wasn't able to do much. Had to use the Arcane Rides. Amaterasu dodges this deftly. And I think here we can see where the damage comes in. I believe right about now. Boom. Hui.
That combo. Just deadly.
Yeah, especially for Xerath, who's so immobile. Like, you use your Q, you're gonna be so slow. It's a sure hit for a good Talia player.
Yeah, and he had used his stun previously that got dodged. And once that stun is dodged, there's not much more you can do. They're even just getting one of the Luden procs on himself, chunking him out quite well already.
We have Bowser here who found purchase onto fire. Jean-Phil is split from his support, but thanks to the ghost, he's able to get away because Todoroki was onto him. Now it's Zeki who's in a bit of a rust, but he's going to find purchase onto Melio. Pick up the kill on the enemy Xerath player. Has to be careful. Jean-Phil is coming right around the corner with that Jin. He still is a threat. Curtain call is out, but the only one you could hit here is Bowser as everybody leaves, and he even gets hit by the 4th shot here, unfortunately. They get the CC out on Amaterasu, but I don't think that's your prime target. Luckily for them, he does not have unstoppable force, so he's not able to find a proper counter-engage from his team. Matsuria is still gonna die in the process, as Bowser just flashes him. There's a bronze trap in this bush. Very nice deft step back from Jean-Phil as he does not get knocked up by that tornado, but they still have to be careful now. Bowser coming in and he can just steamroll over them. He does whatever he wants. The wall comes in, trapping them on the wrong side. Thanks, says the Jin player here. Arcane Ride, shut down from Tundra Rookie to Melio. Yeah, the action just keeps on going. You'd think Red Lions now has full control, but DDU with this team fight wrestling back control are gonna go for the Baron. Is that a safe call, however? They had 3 people up, but Bowser is super dangerous, level 15 already. Might not have Ragnarok
teleport on Matsuhiro. So it's a 3v3 essentially.
Yeah, Ziki around the corner, they're forced to interrupt this and fall back. I think that's the wise choice here.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to see if they maybe just backed already and couldn't get there in time, but...
Oh, Amaterasu might get caught here. He's able to get away.
Not the best target to catch.
Yeah, but if you force him
Red
to use his
Lion's
ulti... If you force him to use his ulti, that could be huge.
That was a close call there.
Yeah. He felt something was up but didn't know quite what.
But now Ziki is also starting to become quite a threat. Having 2 items now completed, working towards his 3rd one, and we also saw him just dash into the Xerath, and again, once you're in melee range basically with that Xerath, he's not going to be able to do much about it.
I just realized everybody on the sides of Red Lions has double buff right now. True.
No.
I think once you notice it, it looks kind of weird. I don't know if it's just me.
It's quite unusual, but it's the right call when you're going for Baron, taking those buffs as an additional source for potential team fight.
Yes, and Union des Ombres susses that out, but just a tad bit too late as the Arcane Rights come up right when the Baron falls. We have Drake in about 30 seconds, but Red Lion's now really dangerous with those buffs. He's going to set the pressure. We have the curtain call coming in, and they are looking to take down Amaterasu because he could prove to be the main engaging tool for Red Lions. He's forced to back down now. Union des Ombres starts going towards that Drake. Slowly but surely. Here we have coming down on Todoroki. That's the prime target you're looking for. Very nice counter engage, however, from Amaterasu, while Cutman is being cut down by Zeki, who is going to go with his front to back. They finally get that front line down. He goes in the back line, but dies at the hands of Matsuhiro. It's a 3v2 in favor of Union des Ombres right now, as Jean-Phil was not killed by Red Lions and now find purchase onto Eto. Bowser tries to do a last stand but gets CC to the death. That's the shutdown money coming in for Emilio. Eto gets away with that flash, but things are starting to look up for Union des Ombres here.
Now that Drake has spawned, but they should hurry now because there is a Talia on the other side with an ultimate still up. So she could be there very, very fast.
You can see the situation a bit again. Amateurs did find purchase, but Cutman kept Ziki out of the fight for quite a while. Well, Amaterasu just couldn't do very much and died quite fast here in the end. Ziki did find a bit too late the way towards the enemy AD carry here.
Yeah, and also Matsuhiro doing the right call and turning on the Vayne as soon as he spots her out. Going from Emilio and Jean-Phil. Not wanting the Vayne to be on those two immobile carries. And they did secure that Drake, I believe, because I think they had two before.
Two before. With that Baron buff, still up on A2 who survived before.
Emilio did die.
Since I missed that.
There, he missed a bit of action already.
And Red Lights, very nice ultimate coming in from Amaterasu on to the enemy AD carry. Now the Arcane Whites keep Red Lions at bay, but they have the push coming in. They take down the front line bit by bit. Inhib is now down, and with that Baron, they had a very nice push going for them. Now it's Emilio, has to be careful, dies at the hands of Ziki from so far away. Damage on this Vayne now starting to get really dangerous. First Nexus turret to fall, second to fall. They TP out to Jean-Phil to not allow him to stop them in their tracks. We have the Zonias being used now. It's fire, the last man to die, and the Nexus is taken down by Red Lions to take a second win in this best of 5 series. And with that, they stand 2-0 in this best of 5 series against Union des Ombres. And that's game point for them, essentially. So while after the first game we were able to say for Union des Ombres that things could still be looking up, there's still a chance, now is the last chance. If they do not win the next game, the journey towards Div 1 is over for them, and they'll have to be content in Div 2. But there's still a good chance, and honestly, after what we saw in this game, I think the chances are there for them to take the next game at least.
Yeah, definitely. This looked much more promising. I think a bit of macro misplace in that later stage of the game where one player dying, where we didn't see on screen that Emilio got probably caught off by the Talia ulting into that Drake pit. They chased for quite a while there instead of going for the objective immediately, and I think that was a bit of their downfall, not respecting the macro pressure on the Talia. And maybe if they can now, they have the picks. Now they have to be a bit more careful with those macro plays. Maybe pace it a bit slower if they are ahead, and then they might take another win. But of course now the pressure is really, really high. Much more maybe nerves coming in for Union des Ombres, because this might be their last shot. I would be happy if it wasn't, but we will have to find out how they manage to pull themselves back together in the next one.
Yes, and we will see that in just a bit as we head towards a short break in order to get the next game set up. Catch a little breather, so don't hesitate to grab a breather or drink yourself before you get settled in for the game point or game match. Oh, what's the term I'm looking for? It doesn't quite matter. For Red Lions, who are currently 2-0 in this best of 5 series, and they